In part one of Building a Playhouse series, you saw me build the foundation for the house, which included adding posts and building the platform. Now it's time to finish off the deck portion and begin framing the house. Since I don't own a track saw, I used a spare deck board as a straight edge to mark and then cut the excess of the deck boards. I was going to use the deck board as a guide, but then I realized I could just draw the line and use that instead. I added additional support connecting the deck and the posts.
I decided I was gonna start going ahead and building the frame to the house, but I had second thoughts and thought maybe it was a good idea to go ahead and stain the deck first, so that way I don't have to tape off the house in order to stain the deck. Hopefully that makes sense. I thought about it a little bit more and I was like, well, you know what, let me just get that out the way, stain it, seal it, and then I can move forward with building the house. I've got my jackery down there. I've got an extension cord hooked up to it and my sander. Now, typically I don't believe that you ever have to sand any of these like deck boards down, but I'm gonna do it just to prevent any splinters for my kids. I want to try and minimize that as much as possible. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm not gonna go through the different stages of sanding grits or anything like that. I'm literally just going to go over it just to remove any of those splinters that may be sticking out, poking out, or anything like that. This probably isn't going to take very long, so I'll kind of speed through it. I've probably got max 40 minutes before it gets dark on me, and I am going to attempt to go ahead and spray this sealer on the wood. This is a tint, it's a tinted sealer. I tinted it in the color coffee, and this is also a water-based sealer, so I figured water-based would be better just because I can clean it up a lot easier. And this is a sealer, but it's also a stain at the same time. It's water-based, waterproofing, supposed to last 6 years on decks. We'll see if that's actually true. It's a semi-transparent color. I did not want a solid color. I'm gonna go ahead and power on my jackery. And like I said, I've got like maybe max 40 minutes before the sun goes down. So let's try and knock this out. Just trying to see how far it would go out, and that's actually not too bad. I think I'll probably just do it the length of one board, so that way I don't have to worry about making it shorter. Yeah, I think that is our best bet. But anyway, I forgot my measuring tape, so I gotta come back down, get my measuring tape. So here's the thing. I'm gonna try and get some measurements here so that I can draw out and know exactly how many cuts, what size cuts, how many boards I'm gonna need, the cutouts for the windows, all of that stuff. I want all of that figured out before I actually start start framing the walls. I mean, I could technically just come out here and wing it, but I don't really want to. I don't want to just wing it, because if I do, it's just gonna take me longer through trial and error if I don't do something right, where if I have something already calculated, it'll be so much easier. Going this way. That.
Once I had it all figured out, I began bolt cutting all of the 2x4s I needed, and I'm just using a circular saw for this project because it's easy to carry and put away, it's battery operated, and less hassled than to bring my miter saw out here. Although the miter saw might have cut back on time just because I could have used a stop since a lot of the cuts were repetitive. I spaced my studs 16 inches apart on center, but I've seen plenty of small playhouses and sheds have wider distances between them. 16 inches might be a little bit overkill, but I'm not really sure. Measuring and figuring everything out beforehand definitely proved to be the right move, because after that it was just a matter of picking the right boards from the piles and assembling them together, which made it go pretty quickly.
Oh yeah?
I came in run for him
Ah,
and I missed him.
¿no le dijiste? Yeah, just wash it off. Espinas. You what?
I got cheese.
I only removed the excess posts on the back side of the house, but not the front, because I want them for decorative purposes. After completing the back and side wall that didn't require any openings, I secured them to each other and the platform.
So you may notice that I actually left like a bigger gap here, and that's because this is where I'm gonna do the opening for the slide that's gonna come down this way. I don't know the exact measurements for the slide. I tried to look it up from when I purchased it, could not find a single dimension on there, which is kind of frustrating, honestly. But since I couldn't find a dimension, I couldn't pre-plan how big the opening should be. So I figured it'd be easier to just leave a big enough opening to where I can play around and add additional support later. So that's what I did. I just left it like this, and I think this is probably gonna be perfect. Obviously the hole is not gonna be huge, but I needed it to be big enough. So this is why this is such a large opening. Okay, so I'm not gonna secure this side because I want to place the one that goes here in the front first to make sure that it's actually square, right? And that it's gonna fit in there perfectly.
I finished out the front frame and then began the roof. Now that the framing is completely done, next up is closing up all of the walls and adding the windows and the roof. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss another episode from this series. I love y'all, be kind, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.